Hi all, welcome back for another match. We're at the semi-final stage now of the Cahill Super 3s in Rhyl. I'm joined in the commentary box by a player who you'll be familiar with because he just took part in the previous match. It's Craig Day from Preston. Welcome, Craig.
Cheers. I won't say I took part in that. I'm more give the three Websters a chance to go on.
Well, there is actually a good reason why Craig's in the box with me now. It's because I've just been and rescued him from the nearest bridge. He was just about to jump and I said, no, I need you in the commentary. So
I'll do it later, don't worry.
Thankfully, Craig, to be fair, Craig, it was a good match and it could have gone either way. And
we all had chances, I think, all three of us, so it's one of the things. It happens, it's pool, isn't it?
One frame pool in particular, you see funny things, don't you? You know, I mean, there was not many frames there which you would look at and say that only one person had a chance to win. You know, almost every frame could have gone either way, couldn't it?
It's a very difficult thing to get into any sort of rhythm. I think, especially just playing the one time, then coming off the table and then going back on again. It's almost if you play a bad frame, it's like it's sort of a knock-on effect. It's been a decent clearance here by Jordan. Just got to be careful.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hang about Jordan, but obviously very good cueist. He is a rhythm player, like you just mentioned. So this will be a good start for them.
And it's there. Good start there from Sheppy.
Yeah, so Jordan's team are called the Georgian Dragon, and I think they're from South Yorkshire, and they're playing the Butcher's Arms, which is from West Yorkshire.
Bit of a local derby.
Possibly someone will correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the areas they're from. So
yeah, they're not far away from each other.
Yorkshire derby. So there'll definitely be a Yorkshire team in the final.
Who's your money on now, Andy?
For the event, or
yeah,
I mean, I think probably your team was my pick for the event. So I'm not sure. I think probably the Derby lads are in the other semi-final. John Chambers and Craig Lakin. It wouldn't surprise me if they won. But with this format, I think probably any of the four teams.
Yeah, they're all good enough.
Any of the 8 teams really that started today, but particularly once the semi-finals, any of those 4 teams, you'd think any of them 4, they're literally.
The Derby lads played Jordan's team yesterday in the groups, and I think finished 8-1 to Jordan's team.
Yeah.
To George. Strange, like you say, some strange results.
Yeah, of course, people can sometimes read more into a scoreline than what actually happens in a match. But yeah, any of those 4 teams could win it, and obviously they'll all be keen to, because it's £3,000 to the winning team.
Very good money.
Did you forget about that, Craig, or was that on your mind when you were playing?
To be honest, I didn't forget about it. I've remembered since anyway.
It's decent money, so.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe you're different, but when I'm playing, I literally don't think about the money at all.
No, it's not.
Just think about trying to not make an arse of myself and see. We'll take it from there.
Yeah, I manage that.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't really think about the money when I'm hitting the balls. I might think
There's
about
no
it a little
point,
bit when you're sitting in your chair. When you're at the table, you're there to pop balls, and you see what you get. See what you get at the end of the
End of the
event.
day, if you play well, the money comes with it, and it's about winning the matches. That's what I'm saying. Playing cash games and stuff like that. It's just, if you think about the money and stuff, it can get to you, but you just got to think. This is a match. I've got to beat this guy, and the rewards come with that, don't they?
Yeah, the less that you can clog your head up with, the better.
There's not much to fill in my head anyway.
There's a good chance here for Daz Cheatham.
Yeah, it's gonna have like one probably tricky positional shot. Just where the balls are sat.
Yeah, I think probably he will play the red that we're looking at now, which is straight into the bottom right corner. Just run it through an inch or 2 and leave a bit of an angle on the red in the bottom left and be able to just stun into the yellow that's above the other red.
It's definitely the way forward, I think.
It looks like that might be route to success.
There's a couple of different ways you could.
Well, the interesting thing is, I mean, I was in the commentary with Lee Anderson in the previous match, and me and Lee kind of see the game a bit differently, and we pick different shots, and it's not necessarily a right or wrong, but I was right more than Lee was. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, some people read the game completely Hulu and you think you should never get them and take them the wrong way, and you still get them every time. And you go,
Yeah.
It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
You know?
but don't beat yourself up about that, Craig. You just keep trying.
It's been a very good start here from Jordan Shepherd's team.
Yeah, he's got a fraction more angle than he wanted here, but he should be okay to hold, shouldn't he?
Yeah, the table's playing quick though. It's I mean, the tables in the other room probably not quite as quick as this, just because of like the TV lights and
Yeah, that's right. When they get those big lights on the table,
it just speeds them up, doesn't it? It's a great arena though. I mean, I must say I'm very impressed.
yeah, I've just noticed actually the shadows on the table. You see the shadows by the balls? They're pretty distinctive on this table because of the lights that we're using here.
It's a bit.
I'd find that a little bit distracting myself.
Yeah, it takes a little while. That one's squeaked in. 2-0 to
But it's
the
a
Georgian
good
Dragon.
start there. Yeah, good start, and the George go 2-0 up. The Butchers were behind in the match against you all the way until that final frame, so they won't be panicking just yet, but
No, definitely not. I mean, they've not had a shot yet.
I think it's time for... is it time for Stevie Webster?
No, I think that was Steve then, wasn't it?
No, Stevie Webster coming out now.
Oh, right.
That was Jeb Webb then. That was Shane. It's nice that there's a team which they're a family. It's quite unique, that is, to be honest. I can't think of any other.
They're all good players as well.
Yeah, they are. They're all good players, steady players.
I think they've adopted Jason Taggart now, I think, into the fold as well.
Yeah, he struggled really actually in the last match. But,
I didn't expect him to miss the black, but he did against me. But then it can happen, can't it? It's like anything.
That's a good break from Pat, but nothing down.
These yellows look nice as well.
Yes, player Steve's ability. It's a great opportunity, isn't it?
It is, to be fair.
Butchers to get a chance on the board.
It's like anything else. It's just sometimes you look at these and you go, you shouldn't miss them on for Sundays, but you still got to get everything right, you know.
Yeah, that's why it's not just about being a good QS. You've got to pick the right order, give the right shots the right attention.
Too many people don't do that. I think they get too easy of a finish, and it can be just lapse in concentration.
Well, the match that we just had on there, Jason was playing in the last frame. Obviously, people remember the last frame more than they remember the previous ones, but Jason had an unbelievable chance there and just made it difficult for himself by over-screwing and playing for the yellow at the top of the table, when myself and Lee both agreed he should have played for the yellow next to the black.
Yeah, it'd have been a lot easier.
That was the
just couldn't go wrong, could it?
Just get on it, and that's right. So sometimes just still being able to think clearly when you're still under the cosh.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I still thought the last shot that Jason had as well. I mean, he could have gone 2 rails to. He had like a big bag in the middle. If he'd have caught it right, he might have been able to.
Yeah, he could have gone 2 cushions with it, but
he
was bridging, wasn't he? And that was the problem with
Yeah.
it. He was bridging over one of the balls. If he wasn't bridging, it was still quite easy. So we see all kinds. Yeah, we see Steve there played a shot, and he's potted the yellow over the bottom corner in the same shot. So
it's just made this a bit tricky now. It's just he's going to have to force it to get out. But I don't think
I think he's still okay, but all he can do is just float this in. You see, so just trying to run it through a little bit. Run it through as much as you dare, without jeopardising the pot. But it's hugged. The white's hugged to the cushion, hasn't it? Which just made it awkward.
I must say the tables have been brutal for like going down the rails and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been discussing it with the other commentators that have been in the box with me today, but They do play totally different, the Sam Leisures, so it's just about adapting, accepting certain shots aren't possible, and playing the game in a different way, different order, playing the shots in a different way.
To be fair, I don't mind them. I mean, it's like when we first got here this weekend, people are going, "Oh, the balls don't go in the middles and stuff." But when you learn how to hit them right and how to play them into the middles, you know how to play them. So
yeah, that's a good shot by Steve there. He had to cannon.
Yeah,
he had to cannon into the red, so he played it.
It's pretty much perfect
where
now.
He kind of played it confidently and took the danger of being snookered out of the equation as much as he could do there. So it's a good chance.
Just got to pick a little bit of a gap here. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Well, that is a class shot. Class shot from a class player.
Yeah, he's been around now as Steve, hasn't
he? Yeah, well, like I say, he was in the box with me for the last game, and it was not last game before. He's been playing for 35 years, and he's actually good friends with Kenny Cahill, the fella that sadly passed away this year, and this event's been created in his memory.
It's always a nice thing to do that for one of the legends of the game, just thinks that's like what most trophies should be named after, some of the greats they've passed.
Good finish there by Steve, and his team needed that as well, so they get one on the board. So it's 1-2.
One thing I will say is a character.
Yeah, he certainly is a character. The sport's a lot better with him in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you need people out. If you're going to try and sell the game and make it watchable, you need people that you want to follow and want to do well. And
yeah,
that's half the problem snooker's having now. There's not really many characters left in the game.
And it's Steve back again in the second session.
Could bring him right back into it now.
Steve against Jordan.
It's been a good start to the match from both sides, really. There's not really been a ball missed. And
I'd be interested to know the statistics on who's won, what the percentages of frames won by the player that's broke on this TV table, because most of the breaks seem to have been dry. So
yeah, it's a funny one. I think the tables are difficult to break on as well.
They are difficult to break on. Yeah, that's what I mean. So normally you'd expect the statistics to be kind of 75%. The guy that breaks is more likely to win, but
yeah, it's probably been a bit lower. It's dry.
Lovely break, really good break.
Just the one ball's gone safe, but I think if the yellow goes in the top right.
Yeah, he's a bit disappointed there that red was the last ball moving as well. The red that's gone to the left side of the table. Without that, the reds were good. So
I think I'd be tempted to take yellows now. I think
if the yellow goes off the red and moves the red out the way. If it goes off that red by the bottom corner,
the other one goes in the top right as well. So
and it moves the red out the way, then that's what he's looking at, isn't it?
Again, it looks quite routine. It's one of them finishes again. It looks quite routine, but you still got to get the little niggly shots right. It's got to take him the right way. Just played it. Oh, it's had a bit of stroke of fortune there. I still think that'll. You can play that and move the red. So I think.
Yeah, even if he doesn't, even if he may decide to not actually be going for it, but he can get the pocket, can't he? Get that bottom pocket.
Yeah, put him in control on it.
Be in complete control in the frame. Yeah.
It's a weird one though. I've found since adapting from world rules. I think sometimes you think you've got control of a situation, but you haven't. You've just got to remember that the skill shot's always on.
Yeah.
You sort of don't want to cover the whole pocket. It's like
yeah.
Yeah, I like it, but come on.
got a decent chance here now to make it to a piece. Just got to be careful here. Just wants the red to move enough to clear the black. Or I'm not sure if he can quite play it slow and the black will still go.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? He's got to move the red out the way if he's going here.
I don't think I want to become in the pocket now either. I think he's sort of committed himself to going for it. Oh, that's loose.
Didn't really make a lot of sense the way he played that though.
No, he had to play with a bit more pace. I'm not quite sure if he's on that. I think the way he's getting down he is. So he might have a bit of a chance to go into it if he can just leave a nice enough angle. Nice, good shot.
I'm not sure. Might actually be too much angle on it.
Might be able to just drop this in and leave the thing cut. He's got the red that's going to like block the white from flying around the table. He's
got to play a cannon.
That's a great shot. And a bit unlucky.
So unlucky, yeah. He had too much angle to go straight into it, so he had to come off the side cushion. And from here, well, it's a horrific shot. It couldn't really be any more in between the cut to the right middle or the pot to the left, top left, so both are horrific.
Yeah, as before as well, I think I'd sooner playing this into the open pocket into the top, because I think the middles were a bit lethal.
Oh,
wow.
It was a great effort there by Steve Webster.
Yeah, he's in a world of pain now though. Especially where the blacks landed, it's just not going to be portable from where Jordan's going to leave him now. Just wants us to hold off the side rail. No. Oh. Chance to go up and down here and possibly just drop it in the middle.
Well, slim chance, but you got to try something. Once again, I think Jordan can move the red off the side cushion and lay the snooker. 3 reds to hide behind. Big target.
Yeah, as soon as that red's moved as well.
Exactly, so next time it'll be an easy finish. But
Thanks, Steve.
Jordan just wants to go for them now.
Jordan's been playing quite a lot recently. He's got a massive cash game coming up with Clint Ianson, hasn't he?
Yep.
Who do you fancy for that?
It's a tough one, really. I think on paper, Clint's slight favourite. I just think he's got a more all-round game. He can win kind of every type of frame, you know. And he's been in better form in the last 12 months than Jordan has. You know what I mean? He's done well in big events, and Jordan's one of the best front runners. So if he can get in front,
he's a cash game player as well. She's swapped his feet, but still there.
Yeah, I mean he's had some good results and he's had some bad ones in cash games. So it's a bit of a strange one, really. But I just think it depends on whether he gets a good start. It's important that I think Clint's able to probably come back, but Jordan will need to get that good start, I think. But it should be an interesting game, and both good lads, and so good luck to them. So there's Jordan managed to take them out anyway. So
still, I think there's been one ball missed. Even that was a
finish. Yeah, but that was tough. I mean, Steve hit that black to the middle really well, didn't he?
He did.
It landed really horrible, to be fair.
Yeah, he deserved better. He deserved an easier shot than that. See Mel Harley's sporting his lovely pink t-shirt. Daz Cheatham breaking now against Seb Webb, otherwise known as Paul.
Otherwise known as the bench warmer.
I think he won 3 out of 3 against us. I think
came off the bench.
Yeah. Well, that's dry. Well,
But yeah, he did. He played pretty well actually.
well, this is a pretty open table. I'd expect him to get these. This could be a long frame.
Right, so I was just wondering, was that sarcasm that kicked in there? Was it, Craig? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
You
Yeah.
just need to give me a bit of warning next time. Yeah, it wasn't a nice break, particularly.
They've just all gone to like one side of the table and just look just messy, aren't they? I think I'll be asking for it right now.
I think I'd be giving you it. Yeah, it's just sometimes the situation is you just don't want to give a silly situation away. I had a game like this against Gaz Hibbert up in Glasgow, and it felt like looked like a bit of a suspect shot to me. That looked like a double hit, but
Yeah, it doesn't look the cleanest of it.
and I was 4-1 up against Gaz in the semi-finals of the Scottish Open, and we're in a nothing situation like this, and we must have played 10, 12 kind of tip-tap nothing shots each, and then all of a sudden I've played one careless, not reached a cushion by a millimetre, and then Gaz has got cue ball in hand, smashed them all, and then ran out, and I didn't come back to the table till I was 5-4 down from 4-1 up. So you just even when you think it's a nothing shot as it were, it's actually, it just shows that you can't take any situation or shot for granted.
You can't give any player cue ball in hand, I don't think. I think, especially on the tour, any of the pros, like if you're giving fouls away, they'll turn it around in their advantage. I mean, I think that's the worst. A few frames of I've seen Gareth play in ages. Every time I look over, he always seems to be potting balls. He just never seems to miss.
Yeah. He will been a bit disappointed with his singles match as well, because he lost his semis in the singles this morning. It was not a good standard, but considering you got Neil's a top 8 player and Gaz is number 1 in the rankings at the moment, and they both really struggled, and Neil probably played about as bad as he can play, and he won.
I think a lot of that was because of Gareth. I think he had four in-offs and 2 dry breaks.
Yeah, his break was terrible.
It's massive at that level as well.
Well, it is, but if it wasn't for the breaks, Neil would have. He didn't look like he could really win those tough frames or frames with any problem balls at all. So every time Gaz broke and put the white in, it let Neil just bring out the bad ball and basically just roll them home, which is
he does that well. He doesn't.
It's what everyone wants to do, but
he doesn't make many mistakes, Neil. I've seen when he's going to finish, he's very very thorough. But he goes.
Yeah, he's meticulous. Yeah, he makes sure. But he's a great player. But he did struggle. He did, and now he's in the final, obviously, and he'll be thinking, well, I'm in the final, and I probably can't really play much worse. So he probably fancies his chances. He plays John Chambers, and we both lost to John, so we've got that in common.
Yeah, both. Were you 6-4 as well?
I was 6-4 up and lost 7-6. Yeah. He had a bit of form against me, a bit of run, but
it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, I actually didn't miss a ball in the match, and I'm still not sure how I lost the match, but it happens. Yes. He's a little bit thin on this, but he should still be able to make it. It looks like it might be cannoning the other yellow, the one that's close to the cushions.
It's just one of them things that you just got to make sure you pot the ball on.
Yes. There
You
you
made
go.
the pot. Should be okay. Yeah, that's fine.
He's looking nice and confident, isn't he?
Yes,
Seb Webb.
I think he likes the cameras, doesn't he?
He's always been one for attention, that boy. That's a good finish.
Yeah, he's looking well, he's Seb.
The man to go to at the minute for the Butcher's Arms. Reduce their deficit.
Yeah, I think it's just about keeping in there, because you don't want to go 2, 3, 4 behind. This sort of short format, it's very, very hard to get back into it.
Yep.
Obviously, we managed to chuck a bit of a lead away against them, but
Well, I was hoping it was going to go to a Blackpool shootout.
yeah, I think.
I know the players don't like it, but the spectators certainly do enjoy watching one. So
Yeah, there's one down at Nottingham for the last tour, and I think Bash McSood and Andy Blurton and Liam McPherson were all in like a three-way one. That was fun. Bash is a character.
Yeah.
Well, they are good to watch and everything, but it's just a cruel way to lose a game, isn't it? A bit like penalties at football, I suppose.
yeah, I'm saying that the answer before. You don't really feel like you've lost when you lose a Blackpool shootout. You don't really feel like you've lost a match. Do you know what I mean? But I guess, like you say, it's exactly the same feeling in football. If you lost a penalty shootout, you wouldn't really feel like you've been beaten, would you? You just
No,
feel
it's
like
horrible.
it's a bit of a coin toss, isn't it? But it's entertaining to watch anyway. So it'll be interesting to see if we get a shootout today.
Shane just last ball moving just dropped there, so he looks like he's got a really good table there. If he can just might have just stuck on the red though, I'm not sure. Can't quite tell. He can get through to a pot on reds here.
Yeah, I
Expect him to dish up.
Yeah, he was looking at the yellows, but I think, like you, I think the reds are going to be the order of the day. But no, he's looking at yellows again. But he's got that yellow that's next to the reds by his hand now, which
It looks like it goes in the top though.
goes in the top right, but you've got to get on it.
So no, he's a little bit awkward on this now. I just thought reds were just an easier.
Yeah, they were. Reds
It's an easy
were
finish.
easy, yeah.
Seb watching his watching on his brother.
Shane's going to leave himself that big shot.
Yeah, we're taking this a bit longer than what he'd like to win. He'd like to be really close to this.
30 seconds.
Again, I think I'd have just rolled that in and then took the long one.
Yeah.
I think that would have been my way, but trying to force them down these rails are very
It's a
hard.
shot that's not possible.
Yeah,
It's just a long shot to play on these tables.
they don't take them, did they? Which is good though, because there's nothing more frustrating than watching someone pot a ball that you know they've missed.
Yeah, but I mean, I find it frustrating watching players playing shots that they know they can't get.
Well, I
Do you know what
suppose.
I mean? They should learn. They've been here playing here
For days, yeah.
for days now, so they should know that you can't do those shots on these tables. You play different. You've got to adapt. Again,
If he plays that running there, he can't miss it, and he's still going to be on the ball over the pocket.
exactly. If you float them in, then they go every time. So that's how you've got to approach them. To leave yourself the angles, to just float them in. Taking shots on that you know aren't possible is just foolish pool, really, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you've got to learn. This is one thing about pool. You've got to learn quick. And some people just don't. They just keep thinking that they're on bigger pocket tables than
That's right.
what they are. It's my first.
The pockets weren't that big for you, were they? In that last match, Craig? Yeah, that black
Yeah, it was a shocker.
needed the pocket to triple in size.
I think, and the rest. I think could have done with one halfway up the cushion as well. Just I don't know why I did it. I mean, I was saying yesterday, I think, and I keep wanting to stun them in when you can just roll them in. It just makes the shot so much more difficult, and you have to sort of to screw it anyway. You know, you sort of sometimes you can jab it on easier than if you just roll in a ball. I think you're more prone to go through a ball if you just roll it. But yeah, I'm useless, so It's a good job the rest of my team were useless as well. Otherwise, I'd have been.
Well, you did better than lots of the field. You still got to the quarterfinals, so
Yeah, there's that about it.
you know, can't be all bad.
It's just frustrating. Just when you know you're a bit of a runner, like, and you used to have that one bad game and you get punished like. But I think we could have played till next Sunday, and I think we'd have still lost that match. Just everyone was. I don't know. Just no one played well at all. So. Must say as well, the holiday park's first class. The arena and the venue and everything else.
Yeah, superb.
Come on, Jed. Come on, Jed. Come on, Jed, lad.
Handed a great chance here to Shane.
Yeah, Pat's usually a very, very steady player and just not settled at the moment in the TV arena.
Come on, Jed. Make sure.
But like you said, very good chance here for Shane. Now you'd be expecting Shane to take these and put this one on the board, and this is to level it up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive frame. I mean, if you're keeping two clear all the time, it's huge. But he's got to.
Yes, Jed. Come on, sir.
You feel that the butchers really have got to take this, like, you know, because I think Jordan and Daz are probably their two stronger players. He's overrun that.
Yeah,
That's careless.
that is careless. That was just a bit of adrenaline, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, it's just, if anything, you want to be slightly high on the ball. You don't want to be risking going too far. Still expecting to pot the ball. But
Played safe. Good shot. It's the right decision. Right decision.
he's just getting control on it. That's all you need. It's just,
Yeah, he's got Pat in a sticky situation here, so
I think I'll be tempted by the treble.
if he can get to this red on the bottom, he's going to play it on the left-hand side as we look at it, and just leave the white behind the yellow. I like that. I like that. Good shot.
Well, Shane's got to find another decent shot now.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
He's got to catch this fin. These are always horrible little shots to play. Just got to catch them right. Catch it too thick, it's going to be a disaster.
You have to hit it so thin that you're worried you're going to miss it altogether.
He's played that pretty well.
It's good hit. Pat's going to have to back himself to pot this one.
I'd fancy it if you turn around to him and said, yeah.
Do you know what? I've just got a feeling he might knock this in.
I think he will, yeah. Plays it slow. It's there.
Oh,
Oh,
well, he's unlucky there, isn't he? He hit that. It looked straight down the cushion, didn't it?
yeah, he just caught a bit of the knuckle and that's it.
I fancied him for that as well. I don't know why, 'cause it was a horrible shot, really. It wasn't an easy shot.
Shane's under it close to this as well.
Well, you see there's a great angle we've got there. It's only just goes past the other yellow. But it goes. And it's
that's
there.
a great shot.
And it's there.
He just looks a bit shaky here, Shane, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He probably knows the importance of this frame, just being 3-2 behind.
I think that they know, that they're close to the final. They don't want. No one wants to blow the semi-final, do they?
No, not really. It's a massive chance. I mean, there's a lot of money at stake here.
A lot of money at stake, and there's a big trophy and the title.
Just overrun that again.
The Gary Cahill Super 3s champions for 2014.
These are not nice on these middle pockets. Could probably see a little bit more than 40. Yeah, it's probably. Just always out of position there, wasn't he? But he just keep pulling that one shot out.
I think Pat was unlucky there. His last shot, He hit it really well, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he potted the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, he hit it well. He's unlucky.
Ties the game up anyway, makes it a bit more interesting. Nice close game. Got Sheppy up now for the Georgian Dragon. And we've got Shane up again as well.
Nice to see that we've got lots more viewers tuned in. The numbers going up and up all the time. Thank you to all those that shared the link on your Facebook page, spreading the good word. I hope you're all enjoying the free stream here today.
Be nice to see a few more, get a few more people down at these events as well. Bump the numbers up. It's quality. I mean, come to these IPA
it's been a good
events
event, and
they're always well run.
hopefully it'll be an annual event. And
the guys at the committee doing the job they do. Just the events run bang on time and the quality. Make it an enjoyable weekend for all the players. One thing I will say as well about the IPA is that you get value for money. You get plenty of games against good players as well. Which is what you want. You want to test yourself against the best.
we've just got the details tied up for 2014 as well, Craig, so hopefully we'll see you for another tour season.
Yeah, I'm hoping to hopefully take the pro card. Like
you were telling me at the last tour that you won a cash game against someone, and that's paid for your tour for the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's nice from that,
Everyone could do with that.
People just keep donating, don't they? So. So I can't recommend it highly enough. £450. I think I played. Wow. Must be well over 20, 25 matches. On the tour this year.
Yeah, superb.
You don't get value like that anywhere else. It's brilliant. All the venues have been top class, just well run events. Sadly, I missed the last one because I'm away on holiday. So.
And you, like you mentioned before, you've changed from playing the World Rules, which you were brought up on, to Black Ball. What's your take on the Black Ball? How do you feel now about switching between them, or are you a bit more like me?
I just
prefer to try and stick to the Black Ball.
Yeah, I don't play any World Rules at all now. I mean, I did like them when I was playing them and stuff. I don't. Not like them. I think they're just now. I feel like they're a lot more negative than Black Ball are. I don't know. I mean, at the time I used to think they were really attacking rules, but I think the more I play Black Ball, the more I see certain ways to open up frames and stuff, whereas you just can't play them. But yeah, they're a great set of rules. Definitely suit anyone who's attacking, but I think it's very easy to switch if you play old rules in your local area.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Steve Webster earlier. He was in the commentary box with me, and he was saying that he'd love to see just one set of rules played everywhere, and he loves his pool. Steve does. He said he goes out 3-4 nights a week playing league pool, and they still get involved in different sets of rules and stuff, but it does his head in, and he loves it. Well, it's been a great finish here by Jed Webb. Shane putting another frame on the board. Yeah. Good finish, and that was a good frame for them to win as well.
Now found themselves in front, took out the George's strongest player as well.
Butchers taking the lead for the first time in the match.
Comeback kings, aren't they?
Well, speaking of comeback kings, I mentioned before about John Chambers. He's one of my best mates. He's in his singles event this year. He beat you 7-6 in the last 32.
From 6-3 down as well.
From 6-3 down. He beat me 7-6 from 6-4 down and 5-2 down. He beat Steve Webster this morning on the first match today on the stream table, 7-6 from 6-5 down. And then in the semi-final, he's just won. Have a guess what score it was?
Yeah, I go for 7-6.
7-6 it was.
From 6-5 down as well.
From 6-5 down. Every single match he's been behind and he's won 7-6.
Yeah, I had
So,
2 chances to put him out and didn't do it, and then he's 8-balled the last 2 frames. So
Unbelievable stuff. So I kind of just felt when he beat me, really, his name must be on it. Because he'd probably admit himself, I was probably the one playing the better pool in the match. I made less mistakes, but you know the way the balls went, they went his way at the end of the match, and you know, and sometimes you just get a feeling, well, it's just meant to be, you know, his day or whatever, and it just seems to be meant to be his tournament. I think he's playing Neil Raybone in the final, but from what I've seen, Neil's struggled, so I think John's favourite for this.
I think it's a testament to Neil. Like, if he's struggled and he's still got to the final, I think this just shows how good of a player he is.
He's a very, very gritty player, and like you said before, he's had a bit of help with Gaz Hibbert's breaks in the semis there.
That's the thing as well. I mean, John's break didn't work against me at all until he really needed it at 6 apiece, and then the one frame I think he potted off the break, he just rolled up like Rollins.
Yeah.
Just when you want him, like.
Yeah.
Like you say, he just feels like his name's probably on it. So this match has been a great standard here.
I'll predict a John Chambers 7-6 win in the final of the singles then.
Yeah, he's diced with death a few times.
John 9 Lives Chambers, I call him now. So here we have Webby at the table. The momentum is all with the Butchers at the minute.
Yeah, they're flying, aren't they?
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, neither side's really missed anything. I think there's been 1-2 balls tops. I think if the Butchers had played like this against us, I think they'd destroyed us the way we played.
Yeah, that's right. The Butchers butchered a couple of finishes to start with, but they Jason tagged it in and then tagged him out. But Webby making short work of these.
It's a good finish. I mean, people forget as well what sort of pressure's on in that sort of arena, and like all the playing for your team as well. It's miles different. I can't stress it enough. It's so much more different to playing just on your own.
Yeah, it is.
Seen like some of the best players in the world play as part of a team and be absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, tell you what.
Wow.
That's careless.
Wow.
That feels like it could be a bit of a game changer.
Wow.
Don't see mistakes like that from Steve very often. I think it's one of them as well now, he has to make this. Otherwise the table's just at Daz Cheatham's mercy.
Wow. I mean, it didn't get much of a bounce off that cushion, to be fair to him, but he had oceans of room
Snatched it on, I
there.
think.
A little bit. He did have a lot of room to play into.
Got to make it now. Oh,
But he swerved it.
oh my god. He's overdone it.
Well, it must have been close, because he didn't look like he jacked it up that high. He just put a flick aside on it then, didn't he?
Yeah, just... Wow. I don't know if it was a decent effort or it was a bad shot, I can't quite tell.
No, I don't think he could get to the potting angle, so you'd have to say it was a decent
That's
effort.
a good shot there from Daz Cheatham.
It was a decent effort, because he couldn't get to potting angle.
Just slightly over, it's just a trace on it.
He's got to make his mind up here, because you don't want to be screwing these.
No, it's not the...
Just a silly way to play that shot, Craig. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's unforgivable.
How many times have been seen
to
this
be
game?
Playing, to be pumping a ball down the cushion on these tables right now is unforgivable.
It's been fingers. We've seen it 4 or 5 times in this match already that people have played them shots.
I could give him that shot 100 times and he won't get it.
Yeah, they're not
He won't get it. So if you're not going to get the shot, why play it?
Chaos.
As horrible as any alternative may be, any alternative is better than what he just chose. Anything. Even leaving himself a horrific long shot would have been better than going for pumping that down the cushion on these tables.
You just got, sometimes, like you say, you've just got to realise.
Change. You've got to adapt your game. You can't, it's just unforgivable to go for a shot that you know you cannot get.
Yeah, they're gruesome down the rail. I mean, they're so tight.
I think he probably cued that absolutely bob on. It looked like he hit it absolutely sweet as a nut, but it can't go at that pace. If he floated it in, it can't miss. That's the way these tables play. They play different. So players they've got to adapt.
It's a costly frame for his team as well. They've gone from being 2 frames in front now to 2 frames behind. This now is a massive frame.
I think you called it. It was a potential game changer, wasn't it?
It was.
It was. And when you get them opportunities to change a match, or you've got to take them. It wasn't easy. I mean, to be honest, there was a chance of him playing a snooker earlier on, but he decided he wanted to go the aggressive route. But if he'd have floated the first plant in, he could have then laid a snooker, and it looked like it was tough for. Where's the white?
Close. Oh, I'm just going to.
Well,
I think at the minute, the butchers are quite blessed.
Everything's going Butcher's way now.
How many times you see it, like you miss a black like that, and you don't get them sort of finishes, and then the other team clear up and game over. And
Exactly.
You just seem to get away with
all
stuff.
the momentum's with the Butchers now, and I'm starting to feel like maybe their name might be on this comp. I don't think they're certainly not the favourites in my eyes. Their team compared to some of the other teams, but
I know they're one thing, they're a team, aren't they? As well,
they're a good team, but I think there's better teams on paper than the Butchers. I could probably pick 4 teams that are better on paper than them, but I think that also I know it means a lot to Steve, and they're fired up for it.
Yeah, which is good.
They're very fired up for it as well. So
this is a massive chance here. I'm not quite sure what the delay is.
What was the delay?
I think it was something.
What's the hold up?
This is a gilt-edged chance now for Seb. To be fair, the way he's been playing, I can't really see him mocking these up. Oh,
He's on nothing.
Well, again, that's just through rushing. He's probably got overconfident.
He's got down and played that just instantly, not giving it any thought, no consideration.
Got to give every ball some respect.
Yeah, because that's just a baby finish, really, but to land locked there without even.
Some people think this is what the annoying side of it. Some people go, "Oh, he's unlucky," but it's just you've got to give every ball respect. Otherwise,
no luck involved in that shot at all.
No. He's going to play the swerve, and he's got it as well. This is where you see where just everything is going from. On another day, that sticks to it, and you're getting nothing.
Yeah, exactly. He was able to get through. Now then, can he cue it in? No. I had a feeling he was going to miss that. I had a feeling he was going to miss that. It's not the sort of shot that you get down and play quickly.
No, you
know what I mean? Again, you have to take your time. You almost have to feel the shot before you play it.
Everything's like, I just don't know, Seb this last frame he did the same towards the back end of it, but he had like drop-ins and he sort of rushed every. Oh wow. They are getting some at the minute. This is
wow.
This is a massive frame to win this.
Well, I mean, I've seen Pat play quite a few times, and he is actually a good player, Pat. He's not settled in this TV arena at all in this match.
It's completely different. I mean, just like the one table and all the focus on the.
Of course, yeah.
The table.
The players just seem to be like rushing shots quite a bit.
Just 30 seconds.
I mean, here now you think this is a 100 out of 100 to get these?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not really any pressure on it either, because
You're in
they're
front.
ahead. They're ahead, and the yellows, got problems. So
Again, he's got into this really, really quickly.
well, there we have it. Another frame for Butchers.
1 frame away from the final now.
6-3 up.
They were 3-1 down.
They were 3-1 down and 6-3 up.
I think Jordan's on twice now for the Georgian Dragon. This is a massive part of the game. He needs to, well, obviously they have to win every frame, but if he can just get these, keep plugging away and get to 5, and then there's a bit of pressure on the Butchers there. It's alright. It'll be all 3 of them, won't it? Apologies, it won't be. It'll be Jordan. I think Jordan, Daz, and then Pat again. They've just got to try and pressure him now. Good thing now for the Butchers, they know they've got 3 chances to win this game. And they've got 2 of the breaks. Okay. He's made a ball. I think he got kicked enough. Paul's been a bit unlucky there. Getting kicked enough. Good chance here for Jordan. He's just got to keep. Played a good shot there. Big chances. Keep him in the game. Just hopefully just pressure the Butchers and keep plugging away. And you never know what can happen. Seen many a big lead blown. Oh, it's a bit of a strange choice of shot for me. Okay.
I don't know what that positional shot was. That's just really careless, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just reckless.
When, it's one of the things that worries me about Jordan. He does lose frames like that he just never should lose. When he's under the cosh a bit, the pressure's on, his kind of carefree approach to pool doesn't work. And so with this big game next weekend, he can't afford to be playing him with an approach like that, but at the same time,
it works when he's rattling 7 or 8
his
off.
best pool comes. His best
That's an
pool
awesome
comes
shot.
when he does get himself going and gets himself firing. So it's a bit of a catch-22 for him, isn't it, as to how to play?
Yeah, he's just got a sort of buzz on. He's a very. I've seen him play games before and just like rattling 6-7 frames up on the trot.
That's what I
so
mean. Yeah,
quick.
he can. Yeah, especially once he gets in front, he can.
That's quite a way away there from Paul, and I think he's got away with it there.
Jordan's just muttered a couple of rather unsavoury words to himself there. I think he thinks that Paul got a little bit fortunate with that shot. He's played a slow roll. That's a great shot. He's done well there. To be fair to him. And this is the thing, I've played Jordan. I mean, I've known him for years, and he can actually play a clever safety game. He just never chooses to, But he can play. He has got good touch, and he can play clever shots like he just played.
I think it must be one of them things as well for him, just because when he practices, he must be running like rack after rack after rack after rack.
Yeah.
And you just get into that mode, don't you?
Yeah, he's a great curist and a lot of ability, but we just seen how careless he was with that finish.
He
If
could cut that out of his
could
game.
just- exactly, if he
could
could.
be a world.
Exactly, you know.
Could be a world champion. For
That's the
sure.
difference between Sheppy and, you know, for me, the likes of Potts and
Great Marsh.
Mick Hill and Marsh maybe, and Farnsworth when he was, you know, still there, and obviously loads of players before that. But they don't make them careless shots. They still give the shot and all due attention.
Yeah, I think
know?
Lee Clough was one from our way. He just always seemed to. Everything was like, you know, on a bob, nothing strenuous. It seemed easy almost.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about someone to the other extreme there, because Lee was too slow, so often it didn't bring his best pool out anyway. Great player, unbelievable, really, really solid player. But I actually saw him play his best pool when he had a 30-second shot clock on him.
Yeah, in the Masters.
In the Masters in Gloucester, I commentated on it. And Lee played his best pool then when he was actually forced to play faster. Sometimes he got himself bogged down.
But yeah, I think Lee was worried I remember him going into that event. He was like quite worried about playing under the shot clock and everything else.
Yeah. He felt he really didn't really have much of a chance. He got drawn against Potts' first game, and well.
Again, there he just got down. Such an important shot in the frame. He just got down and played it and not give it any thought.
He did, yeah.
Again, though, big frame risk, because if they missed a chance here of the Butchers to win it. And
blown it, yeah. Jordan's made a right mess of it and still won it. So you know, you forget about the mistakes if you still get the win on the board.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be the Butchers that will be thinking, oh, that's one that got away.
This now will sort of play in the. It's playing the minds a little bit, you know. It's a little thing, especially if they miss a chance in the next one. It's just you're going like 6-5. It could have been over. We should be in the final now. Everything tucked up. Well, we got Daz Cheatham and Jason Taggart and Daz Cheatham coming up next. They played in the, I think it was on the Saturday in the singles. Daz run out a winner. Chance for some revenge now for Jason. Does there with a decent run, nothing down.
The more I see it on these tables, the more I don't like the second ball break.
No.
It doesn't work on these tables.
I've just started. I started the week and I was breaking from the centre,
Yeah.
not making anything, and then I've sort of switched across a little bit and but still try it with the head ball. Otherwise, you just can't get. I don't know. You can't get them moving. This is a massive chance here to close out the match. Just only reason he won't make this is just because of a bit of pressure. Just got one or two tricky little shots, including the first one. But if he gets it right, I think it's a monstrous chance. The words from Steve Webster just off the side. Let's give him Jason a bit of advice. He's got a couple of problems now. Oh, it's what again? It's what? Oh, it's a flick one. I think I'd just be trying to play safe now. Just got to get a foothold in the frame, otherwise he's going to chase a rainbow and.
Yeah, but for me, what he should be doing is he should be playing off this red the one that he knocked dead on his first shot.
Yes.
Play off this now.
30 seconds.
Leave the white down in this bottom right corner somewhere, and not really leave any shot on for yellows. And there's plenty of difficulty for yellows. So the cue ball's the key here. Make sure you leave it.
He's gone for the pot. Missed it.
That was silly though. He didn't need to go for the pot. Didn't need to go for the pot. He could have just left the white down in the bottom right corner, and there's no shot on for yellows.
It's almost.
And
that
all the
thing
reds
of-
are on.
It's like wanting to be some sort of hero. You don't have to get them on your first visit. Just getting that W, innit?
Yeah, I've said it a few times today. It's not how, it's who. It's all about getting in the final. It's £3 to the winning team. You don't get any more if you pot them quickly or pot them off the lampshades.
No, Dick.
It's £3 regardless.
To be fair, just come give it 3 or 4 months. No one will remember how you've won it. Or
That's what I mean, yeah. We don't plan to hold any of the money back if the winning team hasn't ran the finishers off their breaks or anything.
Exactly. Just got to just drop this in now. Yeah, that's perfect. This is a massive chance now. I mean, this has been reckless from Jason here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just silly pool to leave him in the balls, in his yellows. I mean, if he put the white down in his bottom right corner, then he never had a shot on.
I think he was just more trying to force something to happen, rather than just accepting that the finish wasn't there after the first couple of shots.
He's a good steady player, this kid, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player,
I've not
Jason.
seen him much
does.
before, but steady player.
I watched him play Gareth a bit in the singles, and he was 5-1 down. He ended up, I think, losing 7-5, but it was a high standard match.
Oh yeah.
Is the other semi finished? Was the other semi finished with Preston ones? It's been a quick match, hasn't it? Well, it's a massive chance now to get back to 6-5 and then make it really a one frame shootout. This was the problem. I mean, the Butchers have had a couple of chances now and they've just not taken them. This sort of has an effect, I think. If you feel more pressure if you've lost a big lead than if you've had, like, you know, you're coming back at someone. It's like momentum factor. Just got to get this one right though.
Just a couple of
Yeah, it's perfect.
just a quick footy update for you, Craig. 'Cause I know you like football as well. Man United lost 5-3 today. If you're
Wow.
watching our fan, have some of that. All jumped all over my Facebook page yesterday when Liverpool lost, so I'm no different. I will take a little bit of pleasure in United losing. I've also got Ujoa in my dream team, so crack on, son. And you're also a betting man, aren't you, Craig?
I am, yes.
How about this for bet of the season?
Yeah.
Man City and Chelsea to be 0-0 at half-time away when Chelsea are away to City. That's got to be bet of the season, 2-1. To be 0-0 at half-time. Now, I want you to bear in mind how Mourinho sets his teams up for big matches when they're away from home.
I think they're slightly different this year though. I think they've got that bit more of attacking edge to them.
Oh, they have, I know, but this is Mourinho, and he'll think if he can get a draw
Yeah, he
at the
wants to come
Etihad. Well, anyway, just to let you know, it came in 0-0, 2-1, boom, back of the net. I
It
thought
is.
that was a cracking bet, to be honest with you, mate.
I think I'm a bit of a closet. I don't know. I'm a bit of a closet City fan, to be honest. I don't know why. I've always sort of.
You have a few things in the closet, don't you, pal?
Yeah.
It's about time you come out.
Nah, we don't want to talk about that. Oh. Getting this frame's a bit scrappy here. I mean, it doesn't look like an easy run out, but It might be on, you know, if you can just get through to see this first ball, like past the knuckle. But I'm not convinced.
Sorry, which ball are you looking at? Are you looking at?
Yeah, the red just past
the red down the cushion, are you?
Yeah.
He obviously can't because he's gone yellows.
Yeah, he's got.
It's a good shot from Pat.
It's opened the frame up now. That has.
Yeah.
Just got one shot to play.
That's right. It's that one ball, isn't it? Just that
you can
one
play
ball.
this now. You just trace aside and run into it.
Yeah, it's not a natural angle though, is it? So you're kind of playing it with a bit of stun inside, aren't you? If that's what he's doing, but he's got quite a big target. But you see what I mean? It wasn't a natural, was it? It wasn't a natural, so it had to be forced a little bit.
I think the only thing, he could go into it now, but
if he'd have done it harder with more left-hand side, that was the way to play it. Playing it soft like that is very hard to judge.
He'll play the cannon now, but the only problem with that is now he's no ball to be guaranteed on.
I'll be honest with you, I feel for Pat a bit here. I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit here because he struggled in this final, and I thought he was unlucky in one of his games. And
yeah, he just missed that ball, and he was. He's gone 2 cushions. He's found the gap.
He's a bit unlucky, but
in fact, to be honest, that's not the worst thing in the world. You can now like sort of drop this in and leave an angle to just cannon it.
Yes, that's right. If he can leave an angle. What he wants to be able to do is cannon the red. So what we're looking at is putting the yellow into the bottom right corner, leaving an angle on the yellow into the top right corner, so that he could run the cue ball through into the red that's next to the yellow. If he could do that, he could leave himself guaranteed on the yellow, and that would be a frame winner. So the key here is the angle that he gives himself off this.
Just needs to get the shot right.
It's the angle he's got off this shot.
I think he's pretty much.
No, he's too straight. But they may be able to stop it on a sixpence. He may be able to stop it on a sixpence and still be able to play that yellow into the middle.
It's possible, yeah. I mean,
if he can,
if not, even the double might be on.
Well, yeah. If he can't, then that's what I was going to say. If he can, it'll do that. But if he can't, then
he's overrun that.
Come on now, Eddie.
It's still doubles. It's still doubles. It back doubles, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's just a tougher shot now because the white's going to run a little bit more.
Steve Webster's gone for a walk around the arena. It
just looks like he wants. You've got to put all your eggs in one basket and just go. If you get it, it's. Well, I definitely won't be screwing the white either.
It's not there. Is it there? It is there. Wow. That's a great shot. That's a great shot. Well, I was kind of rooting for Pat there a bit.
Just got to make sure this
he's deserved to get a frame in this semi-final.
And we go to a black ball shootout. That was one hell of a finish under quite a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, it was a good finish, and I'm glad for Pat there. And
well, he's redeemed himself now, hasn't he?
Ladies and gents, it's just got interesting. We're going to a shootout. Spread the word, please. Tell your friends. Stick it on your Facebook. Tell them all. Tell them if they've never seen a black ball shootout before that there's one on live coming up now. There's $3,000 on the line, so there's going to be some tweaks involved here.
This is an hour. I don't think there's anything worse than just having to pot a ball, not having to do anything with the white. It's just a. Oh, we've got Jordan Shepherd up first. What way do you like? Just to roll it in or to screw it? Or
myself, I'm a floater.
You're a floater?
I'm a floater, that's how I play them, so.
Oh, Jordan's made that one. 1-0 to the Georgian Dragon. They've got the momentum now. One thing I will say about Jason is he used to be, I think, virtually a pro snooker player, so he potting balls for him should be pretty. I like this tactic as well, taking a bit of time. And
I don't like how close he's putting it to the cushion.
He's making it harder.
It's very close to the cushion and he's hitting down on it. I don't really like that.
Nailed that.
Very good black though. Excellent. Cued it in lovely.
That's one thing he's going to have on his side. I think that's why they put him up first.
Yeah, I think he played it so wide so he could play it with more pace. He likes to cue them in a bit harder. So that's why he took it so close to the cushion there, but that was a good shot.
Does cheat him now? Oh, Taz Cheatham's overcompensated
Well,
there.
we told you it was going to be interesting. We knew there was going to be some fireworks, some excitement.
Paul Webster there looks like he's having a fit. He's not enjoying this at all.
It's squeaky bum time.
Is there another miss in this? Or? Well, this is a pressure one, this, isn't it, to keep your team in it. Yeah, all three do. No.
Then it shouldn't have, yeah.
I think they're doing it on their finger. Say you take all three rather than straight from the left. Well, it's a bit of a. Yeah, I think so. Well, this is a pressure one. This. Knowing you just have to.
I thought it was a best of 9 in the shootouts.
No, it's changed just because of 3-man teams. Oh, there we go. Nerves are still there from Pat.
Lovely black there from
And this
Pat.
is the man you want bringing on the bacon, isn't it?
So this is for the match then, Craig.
It is.
It's the legend, Steve Webster. Papa Webb with this black. It'll mean a lot to him if he can sink it.
What do you reckon the scenes will be like if he does get this?
Oh, we'll give it one. He'll have a little dance, I think. Steve loves it. He'll be screwing this onto the side cush. Well, there you go.
Well,
The Websters through to the final. An exciting match, an exciting climax.
bit of an horrible way to lose that. I think,
It's a shame there has to be a loser, but it was a good match.
Well, that wraps that one up. Just waiting for the other semi-finals to finish, I think. And
there we go. We see the Webbies fans. They enjoyed that one. The one good thing about the Webbies winning is that we have the fans for the final, don't we? So I said to you before, Steve's a good friend of Kenny Cahill, and it would mean a lot to him and his boys if they could win that title. And he's good friends with Alan Marshall as well, who's the promoter involved in this event. So it would be a nice story if they did go on and win it. We'll be taking a short break and be back with the next match. It will either be the singles final or the team final. Pretty sure it's a singles final next, but we'll be back with you as soon as is possible. So stay tuned, folks.